In this session, we are going to discuss a new chapter, which is wave optics. So, previous to this session, we have discussed a chapter called ray optics, and these ray optics and wave optics are the branches of optics. I already explained you optics means which involves the study of light and its properties as well as its propagation in the nature. So in the ray optics we have discussed about some optical phenomena like reflection, refraction using one nature of light. Then one question may come to us that what do you mean by nature of light? What is the meaning of nature of light? So nature of light means it is how a light travel in a nature. What a light consists of. In what form light travels in a nature. It was a question by the scientist. The scientists were very curious about the light. So that's why they were studied, they worked on the light. They're trying to find the reason what a light consists of, what a light made up of. How does a light travel? So in this session we will discuss about some phenomena of light using another nature of light, which already saw the heading of this chapter, which is a wave optics. That means we will see the wave nature of light in this chapter. And this wave optics is also called as physical optics, and that ray optics is also called geometrical optics. So similar to ray optics, in a wave optics we will discuss some other optical phenomena which exhibited by the light in the nature, like diffraction, interference and polarization. So the scientists were very curious about the light. So before the discovery of this nature of light, the scientist Newton said that the light travels in the form of particles. He is the first scientist who said that light travels in the form of particles. He stated they travels in the form of tiny particles, very small particles, and he named them as corpuscles. You can see the picture of Newton over here. He said that light has one nature, and that nature is called a particle nature. But in this class, we will discuss about another nature of light, because some other scientists were also working on the light, and they said that light has a different nature, which is a wave nature. So this Newton has already told the dispersion of light. After that he predicted that light travels in the form of tiny particles, and which he named as corpuscles. And that theory actually called as corpuscular theory. Actually this was not the theory of Newton. Actually it was proposed by another scientist called as Descartes. But this theory was developed by Newton after this Descartes, and all the results what he got from this theory was written in Newton's book called Optics. That's why more often this theory is attributed to the Newton. So this Newton introduced the particle nature of light, and using that nature of light he explained some phenomena of light like reflection and a refraction. You can see on your screen where the particles are reflecting from a surface. So you can see some ball-like structure over there. So which indicates that the light is traveling in the form of particle. And you can also see the process of another phenomenon of light, which is refraction. So there also you can see some red kind of a ball. So which says that light travels in the form of light. So he was able to explain the reflection and the refraction, which are the phenomena of light, and he explained with the help of particle nature. But around 1690, there was another scientist called Christian Huygens. And you can see on the screen, there was another scientist, Christian Huygens, who put forward a new theory of light, who introduced a new nature of light. He said that light travels in the form of a wave. But at that time, nobody was ready to accept this theory, because Newton was a supreme in the field of science. He was a very prestigious man in the society. So all the scientists were not ready to accept any scientific phenomena or theories which was said by any other people except Newton. That's why the Christian Huygens theory was not opened until a century. Still, there were a lot of discoveries or works or going on the field of light, but later the scientists came to conclusion that light has got another nature, wave. Means light also travels in the form of a wave. And for the Huygens wave theory, Maxwell's theory was supported. Maxwell is another scientist, James Clerk Maxwell. He is very famous for us. We heard his name in the previous chapters. He gave electromagnetic theory, and that theory supported Christian Huygens' predictions. He also said that light travels in the form of wave. So in this way, a lot of scientists have worked for the discovery of nature of light. In the beginning, Descartes, who gave corpuscular theory. I already told you, corpuscular theory actually proposed by Descartes, and he worked on it, and he said that light travels in the form of a tiny particle, a very small particle, and he named it as a corpuscles. But later what happened is Newton took that theory, corpuscular theory, and he developed it, and he wrote his discovery in the of corpuscular theory in his book called Optics, and that's why corpuscular theory is often attributed to the Newton. So this is in this way the theory of light is developed. So even after Maxwell, there are some other scientists who also contributed for the development of in the field of light. Those scientists are Thomas Young, we can say Augustine Fresnel, Einstein, and Louis de Broglie. See, the first scientist, Thomas Young, actually he has done one experiment, and that experiment is very famous, and it is called interference experiment. And Augustine Fresnel, in the meantime, he also done another experiment which is called diffraction. So these two experiments which supported a wave theory of light, which supported Huygens prediction. So from the interference and diffraction experiment, they confirmed the existence of electromagnetic wave. Even though these scientists gave the theory for light, there were some drawbacks. So the solution to these drawbacks were given by Einstein. He is a genius scientist. We already know him. He is very famous. So he also gave some solution for the drawbacks in the wave theory. Still, there were some contradictions in the nature of light. There was a lot of confusions about the nature of light, because already two nature of light was said by scientists, like a particle nature and a wave nature. And then it was clearly explained by another scientist called Louis de Broglie, and he said that light has dual nature. So that is why in this way the theory of light was developed. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about some optical phenomena related to light, but using the wave nature. In the previous chapters, in the ray optics, we have discussed the reflection, refraction processes with the help of particle nature. But in this chapter, we discuss the reflection, refraction process with the help of concept of wave. So this is about wave optics. So that is why wave optics means it is the study of light and its phenomena like reflection, refraction, interference, diffraction, polarization, and also it is a study of some theories of light. So this is, as a whole, it is called as a wave optics.